Hello and welcome to cookingflavors.com. Our channel is aimed at teaching beginners the ABCs of Indian cooking. We bring to you the very basic, simple, easy to learn and cook recipes and a guide to the most essential cooking strategies. Keep watching and enjoy our recipes. For today's recipe, we look at the preparation of beans Paruppu Usili, which I commonly call as beans puttu. For that, I've taken a kadai, added about 3 to 4 tablespoons of oil. We'll wait for the oil to heat up a little. While that is heating up, I'll show you what we have to grind. I've taken just about a handful of chana dal, soaked it for about 2 to 3 hours in water, drained the water completely, some fennel seeds, a teaspoon of fennel seeds, and one green chili. You can adjust green chilies according to the spice level you require. Now we'll grind this in our mixer. Use only the pulse or the whip button. Don't use the high speed button because we only need a coarse texture and not a very fine paste. We'll get that ground. In the meantime, the oil has heated up. I'm adding just about 2 small sticks of cinnamon. The cinnamon is totally optional. You can try using it because it gives a very nice and different flavor. Along with that, I've crushed 2 cloves of garlic and a small piece of ginger. Garlic is also optional, but don't skip ginger because ginger gives a very good taste and flavor for this dish while adding cinnamon sticks and fennel seeds like that. So ginger goes very well with that. Once that is sauteed a little, I'm adding in a few coriander leaves directly into the oil as usual to emit out its best flavor. The coriander leaves have been sauteing a little in the oil. Now it's time to add the onions. Adjust onions according to the amount of beans that you have. I've just taken about one medium sized onion and we'll saute that a little. For the onions to fry faster, I'm adding just about half a teaspoon of salt so that the onions will fry and saute quickly. Now I'm adding in just about a pinch of turmeric powder. Turmeric powder is also optional. All these optional items are up to your discretion. For once you can try adding it, the other time you can try avoiding it, so you will know the difference in the taste and the flavor. I like it with the flavors of the turmeric powder, the cinnamon, and the garlic. Now I've ground this the dal mixture. See, it's nice and coarse. This is how we want it, like how we grind for masala vada. It should be in the same texture. Now goes in the cut beans. These string beans, I've cut them into nice and small pieces, not very minute but nice and small pieces. Now we'll mix that well so that they combine with the onions and the ginger and the garlic. I will not be adding salt initially because sometimes beans has the tendency not to cook while adding salt, so we'll add the salt a little later. I've covered it with a lid. We'll wait for the beans to cook at least up to a 90%. Now the beans have, once they have changed color a little, it means the beans has cooked. You can also feel it in your hand and see how tender it is. Now I'm adding the required amount of salt here. Add salt a little because finally when we add the dal mixture we can adjust the salt later, so don't add in too much of salt now itself. We'll mix that well so that the salt mixes nice and well. Now it's time for us to add in the dal mixture. As I'm adding it, I'm spreading it across like that because if you add it all at once it might form lumps. Now goes in a few coriander leaves. I like to add coriander leaves here at this step because when the coriander leaves combines with the dal, it gives a nice flavor when you crunch on it. Now we'll cover it with a lid because this time we have to give the dal some cooking time because I'm not steaming the dal beforehand or anything like that. It's going to get cooked here, so the balance of the beans also will get cooked here. It took about approximately 7 to 8 minutes, just a maximum of 10 minutes, not more than that at all. And it has cooked. You can feel the dal in your mouth. Once you feel the dal in your mouth, you will very well know whether it is cooked or not. If there is a raw flavor, you'll definitely feel it in your mouth, so don't worry. You will know when it is perfectly cooked. Now, a small tip here for beginners: when you're checking for salt here at this point in time, you have to take a little bit of the beans along with the dal to check if the salt is right. If you're going to taste only the dal in your mouth, the salt will be a little less. So, a tip for beginners here is while checking for salt, take a little bit of the dal and the beans together and check for salt. If needed, add little more. My salt is perfect here. So finally, I've garnished it with a coriander leaves, and just for 1 minute I will be frying it on high flame to give it a nice super texture and flavor for this beans. This beans Paruppu Usili or beans puttu goes perfectly well with any kind of sambar, but it best goes with a nice kara korambu or a vata korambu. Hope you enjoyed our video of beans purposely, which I commonly call as beans puttu. Do post in your comments and suggestions and hit the like button to keep encouraging us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit us at cookingflavors.com. You can also follow us on Google Plus. Once again, I thank all my subscribers for continuously encouraging me. Thank you and see you again with another new and interesting recipe.